Cough up a
Here
lung
we
and
are. Thursday night.
it's Thursday. Thursday at 9.
I like Thursday at 3:30.
Right now it's Thursday at 2100 hours.
2100.
Top of the evening to ya.
Terrific. Top of the muffin to you.
Hey, my muffin top is all that.
And a bag of chips.
I don't want to eat these muffin
It's all that
stumps.
because of a bag of chips.
That was my 30 Rock reference. It was pretty obscure.
Yeah, I like 30 Rock. I know muffin top.
Just don't give me no muffin stumps.
Nobody wants the muffin stumps.
Not even the homeless guys.
Exactly.
Well, because of the implication.
Where's the top of the muffin? Who ate the top of this muffin?
Precisely. That's just rude.
Gentlemen?
Yes, are we going to talk about muffins tonight?
No, but we're going to top off a show.
Oh, I thought it was the Muffin Podcast tonight.
Do you know the Muffin Man? You know, he lives on Drury Lane.
That's actually
Yes,
not
I know
true.
the
I've
Muffin
been to
Man.
Drury Lane and could not find the Muffin Man.
Siri said she knows that he lives on Drury Lane.
Did you go to South Drury Lane or North Drury Lane?
Row.
Cash speak.
Is it in
It's probably a
Issaquah?
bad thing to do before a podcast, not be able to speak. Okay, so Wits End, you kick off the show tonight.
Holy moly.
You
Show
should have
kicking.
that holy moly
101.
looked at.
Yeah. I got moths or something.
Okay, I'm going to play some music and hit record, and off we go into this world of podcasting. Yeah. Kicking and screaming.
Oh, hey, welcome to Caching in the Northwest. You know, this is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest. We'll talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country. So hide that leftover Halloween candy. It's time to go caching in the Northwest.
I got an email just before we started for the show tonight from IHAM. It says, okay, now I'm waiting at the bus stop, catching up on my podcast feeds, and the Caching in the Northwest theme music comes on, and I start bobbing my head like an idiot in time to the music. And this
As you
is
do.
the first time. I'm blaming the three of you, he says.
So is he calling us idiots?
Well, I was going to say, if he needs inspiration for idiocy, he has come to the right podcast.
Whoa, Land Monkey speaking early. Hold on, it's time to bring our GIF planning chimp in. Some say he creates videos not suitable for most geocachers, and others say, yeah, the first people are right. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
He is. Yeah, he couldn't hold his tongue any longer. Yes, it's a land monkey, and definitely I do create videos not suitable for all geocachers, and some people might be finding out about that soon. But yes, GIF planning chimp, indeed. I have to say, before we kick into anything else too far this evening, so I said this morning, this evening, I have to say that
people are listening to it.
our GC63, what's the GC code here? I know it starts with GC63. GC63 NXR. Every geocacher is a star.
Ooh.
You got
GIF.
a rhyming
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
GC code and cache name. Nice.
It's because we're the best. The planning team I am working with is the best. This event is going to be spectacular, and it's 100 people limit on the space, and we are sold out. Yeah, it's going to be the coolest event we've had yet up here. I'm just so excited for Sunday night.
Very cool.
But yes, all
love
that said, I do have to once again, like I do every week, thank everyone who has tuned in. those who are already active over in the Q&A. Hey, folks, good to see y'all. And we're really glad not only that those folks who are live here joining us in the Q&A are here, but hey, you. Yeah, you bobbing your head at the bus stop. We are glad that you are listening to this podcast, that you downloaded it, and that you are making a fool of yourself in public, because that's just how awesome you are.
We are glad you're here. We're glad all of you are here. Welcome to everybody, returning listeners, new listeners, and everywhere in between. And for you returning listeners, you know we love hearing from you about your favorite caches and caching locations in the Northwest in your own voice. Right here, each week on the podcast. You know, you can use the voicemail tool on the website. We love that. Send us your favorite cache. Call us 69253-693-TFTC. I've mangled it, but you know the number by now. And you know, we'll play it here on the podcast. Your message doesn't need to be all that long. Let's make it 12 and a half seconds, 13, 15, something in like. All you need to do is tell us your geocaching name, your favorite geocache, the code name, and all that. And, well, of course, why you liked it. And we've got one tonight.
We do. Let me play that for you.
This is the Malone family, and we're from Geneseo, New York. Our favorite cache in the Northwest so far has been the Double Bubble Toil and Trouble at the famous Gum Wall.
Ah, yes, the famous Gum Wall, one of the mintiest places on Earth.
One of the stickiest places on Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Borderline grossest places on Earth.
Yeah, it was very unsanitary, in my opinion.
Yes, if you have if you're a germaphobe, you will not like it there. Now, I want to talk quickly about Kokanee.
Okay.
Quest.
Oh.
Are you looking for a new cache series to do in Puget Sound now that the weather's shutting down the mountains? Do you need another path tag? Well, then I have good news. The Kokanee Quest launches Friday, November 13th. Yes, that's true. 9 caches that highlight local creeks critical to the Kokanee salmon and educate you about this rare freshwater fish. Passports will be available on the Kokanee Quest website. Links will be in the show notes by Thursday, November 12th. Now, what are the Kokanee? Well, the big reason we launched the Kokanee Quest was to spread the word that the Sammamish Kokanee are in trouble and need help. The Kokanee are landlocked salmon that live in Lake Sammamish. They swim up surrounding creeks to reproduce, where their offspring live, grow, and continue their cycle of life. Sadly, the Sammamish Kokanee numbers have been declining for several years. Because their future is in danger, fishing for Kokanee is prohibited. People and governments are working to restore the Sammamish Kokanee populations back to health. So there you go. You can learn, you can help, and you can even get a path tag out of this thing.
Well, and who doesn't love getting path tags?
Well, who doesn't love Kokanee? I did not know, that there was Kokanee native to Lake Sammamish, which, if I'm not mistaken, Lake Sammamish is near Issaquah.
Issaquah. Yes, it's not far from there.
Okay, and definitely we have some lakes up in BC with Kokanee in them. So when I heard we were talking about Kokanee, I started getting excited because I thought we were either A, going fishing, or B, buying cheap beer in BC.
Yes, that's what Ryling says. Salmon or beer?
Yeah. And I don't think any of those lakes are lakes that you can drive into, but I've driven into a lake with the land monkeys. So,
in search for beer. Geocache. Search for geocache.
Because of beer, we drove into the lake in search of a geocache.
Well, hey, hinging or launching off of the favorite geocache entry this week, you might have seen on Twitter, I think I tweeted it, King5 tweeted it, one of our longtime listeners, Limax, also turned us on to the story that big changes are coming for the famous gum wall in Seattle's Pike Place Market. You know, for the first time in 20 years, the market plans to clean all the gum off the wall. Pike Place Market says a total scrub down is needed because of the sugar in the gum. I can't imagine that that's very good for the...
I thought it was all sugar-free gum.
You'd think. You know, it started because people would wait in line to get in the movie theater and they would stick their gum in there before they'd go inside. The The Market Theater's wall and post alley will be steam cleaned starting November 10th. So you've got a little time to get out there and see it before they start the big cleanup. The cleanup is expected to take multiple days due to the volume of gum on the walls. And once the wall is clean, guess what? You're going to be allowed to put more gum back there. They said you can start it all over again, but it's just grown too much right now. The gum wall has grown to 8 feet high and over 54 feet wide with approximately 150 pieces of gum per brick.
Oh, that's so disgusting.
Oh, I was there this summer with my sister because she was here from out of town and wanted to see it, and I was, yeah. It seemed like a very unsanitary place to me. Pike Place estimates that 1 million gum wads cover the wall, and the gum wall is located in Post Alley just under the market. Started 20 years ago. Like I said, waiting in line for people to get into a late night improv show, they'd stick their gum there before they went into the theater. Now, before the cleanup begins, Pike Place is holding a contest for gum wall photos. So if you're a shutterbug and you want to get that shot of the gum wall before the great cleanup happens, head on down. We'll put the link in the show notes there. And the other gross thing, well, I think it's interesting, but I think it's also kind of gross. They said when they finish the big cleanup, they're going to weigh all the gum.
Oh, jeez. There's a crappy job.
No kidding.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You're going to pressure wash it off the walls and then collect it?
That's what they said, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, you can't just wash it down the drain.
Well, I guess that's the thing. You're going to have to throw it out anyway. So.
They're going to have to pick it up some method anyway. So,
And,
yeah,
that has to be one of the easiest places to find. Just follow your nose for the minty fresh smell.
Yes. And actually, I think once it's pressure washed, they can just put it back in wrappers and sell it at Pike Place Market again to the tourists.
It's high pressure heated water. That's what your dishwasher does.
I'll get right on that.
Maybe they could peel it off in brick-shaped pieces and sell you that. 150 pieces of Pike's Place wall gum.
Somebody somewhere would buy it.
Oh, yeah.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shifting from pretty much disgusting news to a little more serious news. For those geocachers and hikers up here in BC, especially those of us down closer to the coast, the North Shore Mountain backcountry trails are closed, and North Shore Rescue is issuing a warning after having to do a rescue this past weekend. This is an article taken from the North Shore News, and it states, no sooner than the first snow fell in the backcountry, North Shore Rescue members were out saving lost hikers in winter conditions. Volunteers were out until nearly midnight on Monday, so it was after the weekend, until nearly midnight Monday to rescue a man and a woman in their 20s who had gotten lost while attempting the Haynes Valley Trail. Metro Vancouver officially closed the trail for the winter earlier that same day. The RCMP were able to ping their cell phone coordinates, allowing the North Shore Rescue members to quickly get on the right track. Search managers sent 3 teams in on foot via Grouse Mountain and found the couple in a creek bed near Crown Pass. The team used gear from a nearby supply cache to warm the hikers and get them better equipped to walk out. And I'm just going to interject for a moment here. When we talked months ago on this very podcast with North Shore Search and Rescue, one of the things they talked about were those supply caches that they have in the backcountry. They don't have a lot of them. They have a few of them. And somebody a few years ago went and vandalized a bunch of them, or some buddies were vandalizing them. And this is the exact reason that they have those. So don't vandalize those. Those are there for these exact reasons. Because, as we go on here in the article, they were woefully ill-prepared for the conditions. They had no lights. They were in sneakers. They were not prepared, and they did not leave enough time to do the route in these kind of conditions, said Doug Pope of North Shore Search and Rescue, one of the search managers. They were in a very serious situation. They were already starting to be hypothermic, and if they weren't able to get the call out, they would have easily died back there because they had no gear to keep themselves alive. So, pretty serious stuff. We iterate almost every episode for you guys to, know your limits and be prepared when you go out in the backcountry caching. But just, it's serious business. The article wraps up with a list of Haynes Valley, Coliseum Mountain, Lynn Lake, Crown Mountain, Goat Ridge, and Goat Mountain are all now off limits for the winter, and they all do have signs posted at the trailheads warning hikers to stay out. It is closed for a reason. It is a very difficult area. There's no cell reception. It's steep, mountainous terrain, and they have had 2 deaths in there in the past 2 years. So they're doing everything they can to avoid a third one, according to Pope. And he was referring to Tom Billings and Liang Jin, the 2 deaths that they've had in the last 2 years. Other trails in the mountain areas remain open, but the changing season means hikers have to take extra precautions. And remember, the sun does set around 4:45 this time of year, so that's pretty early.
Yeah. So, folks, our sport gets us out and gets us into these areas, but be prepared, please. We want you to come back and listen week after week.
Absolutely. We're sure glad that those people did make it out with the help of North Shore Rescue. Those guys are awesome.
They are.
I really learned a lot myself on that interview we did some months back. So if you missed it, go back and check it out. It's great, and it's certainly the time of year when outdoors really, really need to be prepared. You just never know how it's going to change.
Yeah.
Conditions change quickly.
Know your limits and cash within it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And before we move off the topic of North Shore Search and Rescue, I want to throw out that North Shore Rescue did tweet today that if you go to Deep Cove Brewers and Distillers, you can pick up your hashtag shredder gear and support the North Shore Rescue with your very own filled growler and t-shirt.
Oh, hey, I want to head up north and take care of that myself.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. No matter how exciting it might be to be rescued by a pope, I'd just rather not get lost in the backwoods at all.
Yeah, you must find it really tricky to get under some of the branches with that hat on, though.
Yeah,
the pope mobile. I think it goes everywhere.
Yeah. All right. In other announcements, the Bad Cop has been hiding this from the rest of the world, I think, but we did have some winners in the Munzie episode of the Munz Packs. And those winners are, drum roll, anybody got a drum roll? Okay. I'm going to stumble and mangle all these names, or most of them anyway. Is it Packree or is it Packree? I'm going to say Packree. Packree from BC. That kind of rhymes. Hey, look at the Munz Pack on the screen.
I got the Munz Pack for you, Packree, right in my grubby paws. And since he doesn't work too far from me,
okay.
Packree, get in touch with me. We'll grab lunch and I'll hand this off to you.
Packree, your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the land monkey and claim your prize. Also, winner is Limax. It says CA, so to me, that's California. But maybe it's Canada. No, is it California?
I don't think he's in Canada.
Okay. And Secret Agent Bill in PA. So I'm sure that he's in Northwest Pennsylvania. But congratulations to Packree, Limax, and Secret Agent Bill. Thanks for listening, and your prizes will be on their way unless you happen to find Land Monkey in person.
Congratulations.
If you're not in BC and you can still find Land Monkey, go ahead. That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's usually got prizes just coming out his ears. So.
Love it. Now, folks, it is GIF weekend.
Thank you for getting that correct.
Thank you. GIF. Have you found an event nearby that you can attend? Here
I have.
Is some GIF trivia from geocaching.com. This year, Geocaching headquarters received 81 film submissions from 20 different countries, and our team judges narrowed those down to the 16 films you can see this weekend. Those films represent 10 different countries. How cool is that?
That's very cool.
Each filmmaker was chosen as a finalist, and they received a 1-year geocaching premium membership, plus some special tags and coins from headquarters.
Nice.
This is the 3rd year of the GIF. The first 2 years, headquarters shared the finalists online after the main event we hosted in Seattle. This is the first time we've ever made the entire GIF reel available for geocachers at events worldwide. So, you can be part of this worldwide geocaching experience this weekend. There are 454 GIF weekend events happening around the globe. And, there's a map, and we'll link to it on our website, that shows where all the events are taking place. So that's going to be a lot of fun to go to one of these events. Wits End and I already have one picked out for tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that on an upcoming episode. So, guys, how has your week been? Have you been able to get out and get any geocaching, do any adventures?
Well, thank you so kindly for asking. And we have been spending a lot of time prepping for the GIF 2015 event that's coming this Sunday evening. But we did also get out, and we got out Saturday on Halloween evening for our annual night caching adventure. We did the cache that we said we were going to do, Connect the Dots in Burnaby, and it was a lot of fun. Picked up a few other caches in the area, had a great time. The unfortunate part is that it was on the last half of that night cache trail that I started feeling a little funny and ended up being sick for most of this week. But feeling a little better.
You still look a little funny.
Well, yeah, it's nothing tequila won't fix. But yeah, having a great time. That I have to say, that night cache trail, Connect the Dots in Burnaby, is one of the best put together and maintained night caches that I have done. And I've done some pretty good ones out here. There's a lot of quality ones in this area. But I don't know if it's just the original deployment or if cache owners are just out there doing maintenance on a regular basis. But it was so well done. It's on a great system of trails where there's lots of turns and everything, so it keeps it fun that way. It's not too long, it's not too short. The reflectors are all really well positioned, and we had actually just for that evening bought a brand new flashlight per John Robb's advice, one with a long throw, bright LED flashlight with a long throw that Mrs. Land Monkey was using, and man, it worked well. So yeah, that was our fun. Bad Cop, how are you doing in filling your calendar?
I've determined I suck at this geocaching thing.
It's a good thing you do a podcast then.
I know. I went out just yesterday to find a cache, and my phone put me within 1 foot of ground zero, and eventually 1 foot of the actual cache. I spent 20 minutes looking for this thing. The coords were dead on. I mean, right on top of the cache. My only excuse is that I was wearing work clothes and I didn't want to crawl around in the wet grass.
Nah, I've used that excuse.
I don't blame you for that.
But it was under a bunch of telephone poles, old telephone poles laying out in a field. And, I ended up getting a stick and reaching into some of these crevasses. And finally I ticked on something that didn't sound natural. And literally, it was right on the coordinates. I've never seen coordinates that accurate before.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. It's like I say, it took me 20 minutes, and I was standing a foot from it. So, but what was it? 2-3 feet underneath of the log, which is more than you just reach in and paw around. So, but I've filled out my calendar. I got 6 more days in the month of November.
There you go.
And then you're done?
Well, no. Then I have a couple of nice lines in my calendar all fulled up. Yeah,
awesome. How about you, Wits End?
Well, you know me. They say those that can cache and those that can't podcast. No, I have been out a couple times. Primarily because of the Bad Cops need to fill a calendar. So just a mere 9 hours or so ago, we had lunch and then walked down a little trail here, and it's a nice time. So we've had thankfully some breaks in the weather. It's been rather wet lately here, but there's been just enough breaks to get out and do some caching and have some fun.
Awesome. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, that's really what it's about, is getting out and having fun.
Yep.
Yep, that's it. All right. Well, hey, folks, we asked you, our good listeners, our good-looking and intelligent listeners, what you wanted to talk about this evening, and you came up with some really good topics. It was a lively discussion on Facebook. Bad Cop, thanks for getting that kicked off.
Mhm.
And first off, we wanted to mention the comment from Retro, mostly because it really puts us in a good light. But Retro asked, he said, why do you guys have to be so awesome all the time?
Well, Retro, it's people like you that make us what we are today. Somebody needs to fill that role, and we've elected Wits End.
What? Really?
Yeah. Congratulations.
Wow.
You're the most
I know.
awesome.
Okay, it's true, but really, it's not me that's awesome. I hide in the shadow of the awesome mustache. It's the podcast that's all about the facial hair.
Yes, it is.
We also had some feedback from GS Link, brought up the topic, the future world of containers. Where are we headed with containers?
Ooh. Hi, Gary.
Hoverboards? Hoverboard containers would be good.
Ooh, hovering containers that could stay above the snow level.
Time traveling containers? No?
It means you could find it before it was hidden?
Maybe.
Maybe you're going a little too far or a little too far back to the future.
Maybe. Yeah, the temporal police would not like that. I don't know. What do you foresee for the future world of containers?
You know, I think for the most part, and this is just a personal opinion, I think we're past the days of 35 millimeter canisters, because who uses film anymore?
Mm-hmm.
And Altoid tins. You know, I've been seeing either lock and lock containers, and they come in so many different sizes now, and containers that were designed as geocaching containers. So, Land Monkey, what about you?
Well, because I saw that we were going to be talking about this in the show notes, I went into my, bumping my microphone there. I went into my secret cache of geocaches and pulled out some containers to talk about and use as some examples here on the conversation. Some of the ones that I think just generally make good containers. And I think one of the main things we're seeing as a trend, definitely moving away from the Altoid tins and the 35 mil film containers. But the other thing that I tend to see, and I think we've seen this for a few years, is we're moving away from the larger containers and moving towards smaller containers. Not a huge fan of micros in the woods, I gotta say. I would love it if we could still have decent sized containers when you're going out in the woods. But some of the containers that I think make great geocache containers, and ones that I hope will catch on and continue out. This is, I'm going to throw this one up on the screen first, is one of my favorite types of containers. You really don't find that many of them, and it's probably because of the price. So maybe if more people buy them, the price goes down. I'm not sure how that'll work. But they're, for those who are listening to the podcast and having trouble seeing this through their headphones, it's a large bison tube. So it's sort of like an oversized bison tube. It's about the size of your closed fist. And these things are fantastic. They come with an O-ring on them. They screw up nice and tight, waterproof. You can put trackables in them. They're big enough to put trackables in them. These things are just great containers. I would love to see, I'd love to find more of these out hanging in trees rather than nanos and such. There you go. Yeah, Wits End's got one of them too.
I've heard them described as mega micros.
I think that's what they're marketed as.
Mm-hmm.
One of my other favorite container types, I'll hold another one up. It's a modification on the traditional waterproof matchstick container. Now this one is actually, I don't know if you can see that or not, this one's actually branded Backroads Map Books. So this was actually some swag that I traded fairly for out of a Backroads Map Book dash. And I've hidden one exactly like this on the North Shore Mountains that we were talking about on a snowshoe trail. And these things are super cool. Traditionally, your matchbook containers, they're usually orange like this, and they will usually screw. Well, these ones, if you try and screw, it's just going to spin and spin. It's a rubber, so you can actually squish it, and you pull the lid off as such. They're super, super durable, last through the winter really well, and they just keep that water, snow, everything out really well as long as people put them back together properly, which isn't really that hard. You just sort of squish it back in together like that. And these things, I think if more of those were out, again, you'd have less frequent maintenance needed on your caches. They last a great time as long as they're, like I said, put back together properly. But those are a couple of what I think are sort of the trend towards caches, because they're small, on the smaller side, but they're just really good containers. So I would love to see more of those out there. Guys, any other thoughts?
I like that. One of the things that I've seen a bit more of are the preforms. So they're preformed 2-liter bottles. So they're designed to, hold liquid and keep things out. You don't want them to hold liquid, but you get the idea. Are watertight.
They are. They're good. Preforms are super useful in a variety of different ways. I've seen them. They're super because of their shape and their size. They're super easy to wrap camo tape around. Yeah. Stick into stumps really well.
I would suggest keeping them clear,
so that
people can see inside them, and they're not mistaken for anything else.
Fair enough. I guess it depends where you're hiding it. If it's an urban hide, then yeah, I would agree with that. But if you're hiding them in like a power trail out in the woods or something like that, then I don't know.
Hams wants to know if that fat bison tube is what's known as a scuba.
No, scubas are a lot smaller than these. These are called Mighty Megas. There you go, from GX Proxy.
Yep. That's the -2.
Yep.
Yeah, and those preforms and many other cool caching containers are available at Cache Advance, one of our favorite interviewees and fan of the show.
Yep. And for those of us up here, World Caching also carries all the things that I'm showing. The other thing I was going to say about preforms, what I've seen people do, which is really cool, is you use a little bit of baling wire, because preforms have this ring under. There's the plastic ring underneath the lid that's part. It's part of the body, and if you wrap a little baling wire around there and make a hook on the other end, they hang great in trees. I've seen them done that way a lot of times as well. I think that they're a versatile, very useful container. So yeah, it's a good call, Bad Cop.
Head bobbing Iham says he loves his ammo cans.
Absolutely.
And Brylang says plastic ammo cans. Love them or hate them. Walmart in the U.S. only has them for $5 each.
Oh, there you go.
Got one right here. I like them. I think again, ammo cans for some reason they seem to be getting a little more difficult to get a hold of.
Well, yeah. Costco had them here, 2 ammo cans, a 50 cal and then a 30 cal inside it, for $20 for the 2.
Really?
Yeah, metal ammo cans. I was shocked when the person in front of me had 2 ammo cans in his cart, and I'm like, I'm in Costco, right?
Yeah,
There's
no.
caches here?
That's awesome.
Costco.
Yeah, the plastic ones, they kind of look almost like a tackle box, but they work like any other ammo can. They have a very similar type locking mechanism on the front there. I'm showing that. They're not going to be as durable as a metal ammo can. This is the reality, right? So depending on where you're putting it and what conditions are in, it may not last the same way that a metal ammo can will.
They won't rust. So on some level, in some aspects, they're better, but
yeah. So I think
that unique sound, but ka-ching.
Well, I think Brylang, to answer your question, love them or hate them. The plastic ammo cans, they're great. I think like any other container, it's suit to purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brylang, who is the Caching in the Northwest research department, says ammo cans have gone way up in price. You're looking at $15 to $20 for each one now. And Dora Moore says, I saw a plastic ammo can that had cracked and was full of water.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, that's too bad. But I guess the thing, right? They are going to be subject to that. There's going to be varying. There's plastic ammo cans that I know geocaching.com sells, and you can buy through the other retailers we were talking about before. I haven't found one of those or used one of those. I've only looked at them online.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at them online, I've thought, I don't know how well those would hold up, because I haven't seen how thick the plastic is on those. So that may be exactly the kind of thing that Dora Moore's talking about.
Mm-hmm. And Breiling agrees with you, Land Monkey, that please hide clear, see-through lock and locks in urban areas to help avoid bomb scares.
Well, yeah, I get that. I mean, all right, I'm gonna channel my inner Mark Downing. You know, sometimes there's no cure for stupid. And that goes both for the muggles and for the geocachers. Yeah, you know, if you're going to hide something like this and you put a please do not disturb, this is an official geocache sticker on it and people can see inside it. If you hide it well, muggles shouldn't find it anyways. If they do find it, hopefully, even if there's camo tape on a lock and lock container, people aren't going to go, oh, it's a bomb. Now, you're going to run that risk with muggles. On the flip side, just 2 weekends ago, we found a geocache that if you tried, you could not make it look more like a pipe bomb. It was a fitted, threaded metal pipe with the screwed ends on either end. I'm like, dude, seriously, what were you thinking? This looks like a bomb.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I think I saw that on your Twitter feed. Didn't you? Did you tweet a picture of that?
Yeah, I think there might have been a slightly sarcastic remark associated with that.
Huh.
No,
Not from you.
No, I know, it's hard to believe.
You're the most polite member of the Caching in the Northwest host.
Sometimes. Oh, my neck hurts.
You are kind of a stiff-necked people.
But yeah, I think so. Yeah, there's some good examples. You know, one of my all-time favorites, love them or hate them, the fake rocks. If you're gonna hide a fake rock where the bottom pops out, you know, consider doing like what's done here. Our good friends at World Caching always sell it with a little bison tube in the bottom. So, you know, don't just put loose log sheet in the bottom, because that's not going to hold up. Not in the Northwest anyways, maybe in the desert. So yeah, these things, I think these will be around for a while. They're great urban camo. Don't look like a bomb. Unless you're a complete idiot. Sorry. Rant. There'll be more ranting tonight. Don't worry, folks. And then, you know, one of the other ones I pulled out is the decon containers. Good old decon containers. You don't see these very much anymore.
No.
And the only complaint I have with decon containers is they're a bugger to close them properly.
Yeah, they are. I've seen several that aren't closed properly when I get there.
Yeah. But otherwise, they're fantastic containers, a great size. If closed properly, super waterproof, but often not closed properly, which is probably why they're not super popular anymore. All right, that's it. Gary, there's my feedback on containers, where I think they're going.
Okay. Well, what else do we have? We have 3Hams brought a topic up of why do certain cache owners think it's cool to deliberately publish fuzzy coordinates, but then only rank the cache at difficulty 1.5. You know, if they want it to be tough, make it a difficulty 4. Certainly, there are ways to make caches tough and, you know, challenging without just, I'll just make the coordinates off, because then it just makes you, I don't know. If they want it tough, place a tough hide. Make it well camouflaged. Don't just make bad coordinates, because that just, I don't know, makes you look like you made a mistake, if you ask me. Make something really cool. Make a cool puzzle. We all like a good challenge, but yeah.
I think maybe in
We don't want to make this a whole ranting show.
yeah, well, here's my thought. In the earlier days, now granted, I'm still a relatively newer geocacher in the in the terms of when the
Tell you something, Sonny.
that's right. So based on my perspective, when I find caches that were published with their coordinate sets in the earlier days of geocaching, when the devices used to hide them weren't as accurate, even ones that were published in like 2012 and earlier by cell phone, when cell phone GPSs were not very good, I can understand there's going to be some offset, and that's fine. I think you sort of expect that when you're finding older caches. But if you're finding a cache that's been hidden pretty recently, and the coordinates are off, and I think I know what 3Ms is getting at, because I have seen one or two where the CO actually writes in either in the description or in a log note. Coordinates are intentionally off. You'll just have to look harder, or expand your search area. I'm like, well, okay, but that's not. Is that really the point of the game? If you're going to do that, then make it a projection or something. But
yeah, use some orienteering or something to add some different level of challenge to it.
Yeah, I think deliberately changing or making the chords difficult, it's not going to really help anybody, especially new geocachers. They're just going to get confused and frustrated, and experienced cachers are going to rant on podcasts. But the other thing is, in respect for the landowners, folks are going to destroy the area.
Yeah, I had the same thing. They'll start tearing stuff up. They shouldn't, shouldn't tear anything up, but.
No, absolutely agree with that. So yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons. So 3Hams, great topic. I think there's a lot of reasons that people should make their coordinates as accurate as you can. And if you want to add to the difficulty or complexity of your cache, then find a more creative way to do so.
Exactly. Breiling mentions that from the guidelines at geocaching.com, listings must contain accurate GPS coordinates.
There you go.
So there you go.
The rules, huh?
Yeah.
Good job, Breiling.
Well, Land Monkey, you responded to the little question I posted.
Did I?
Yeah, you brought up not logging DNFs. And you also
I brought that up, Bad Cop, because you were ranting about it earlier.
Yes, I know. And I'm going to start ranting. This past week, while working on that silly calendar challenge, in a downpour, I made 3 DNFs. Now, a couple of these caches had not been found since August. And I find that hard to believe. My thinking is others came for them, couldn't find them, and logged a DNF. There was one cache in particular that had a great description of where it was hidden. It told you, go find, there were cables holding trees from sliding down the mountainside. Go to this cable, walk 30 feet north. You're going to find, 5 madrona trees. It's a, I had exact locations where it was hidden. And my son and I searched, in the rain, mind you, for 30 minutes and couldn't find it. Now, the rain did dampen a thorough search. But 30 minutes for a 1.5 difficulty cache should be more than sufficient.
Yeah. Unless you really suck.
Yeah. And, maybe I do because, well, anyway. I'm in a very active geocaching community here. And for an ammo can to go 3 months without a find is a warning flag to me.
Oh, it was an ammo can?
It was an ammo can, yeah.
Oh, for Pete's sakes. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not there.
Does it sound like sour grapes? That.
Well, no, it sounds like, come on, people, log your DNFs.
Yeah.
Did they hide the ammo can inside Costco?
Maybe.
That's where Costco's getting all their darn ammo cans.
That's right.
They're muggling them all.
B. Pendragon says you can really find anything at Costco.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, so that one we couldn't find. Another one, I went out. It was a little bitty park, had a tree right in the middle of it. Couldn't find that cache. There was a lot of garbage around, so it tells me that perhaps it could have gone missing. And that one, it was only like a month and a half since it had been found last. I'll understand that, but I bet you somebody else went looking there and goes, no, can't find it. No, just move on.
So you logged your DNFs.
Yep, I did.
What did you put in your DNFs? What did you write?
So in the one in the tree, it was at night and raining. Okay, so I said, I looked for it in the rain at night. There's a lot you can miss there. No luck for me tonight. I'll try again. But for the one with the ammo can in the woods, I said, come on. With these kind of directions on where it is, it's got to be missing. So
you logged a DNF, you didn't log a needs maintenance, or?
I did not. I logged a DNF. I think it's up to the cache owner to determine, hey, nobody's found it in a while, and now I'm getting a DNF. Should I go out and look? Do you think I should have logged a need maintenance?
Nope, I don't. I was just asking if you did. I think I would have done exactly as you did. I think the frustration is, though, if other cachers aren't logging a DNF, two things are going to happen. One, other people are going to have your experience. They're going to go up there thinking, wow, there's only one DNF, and it hasn't been found for a while, so maybe I'll be the guy who finds it, and they're going to go up and waste their time. How long of a hike was it?
A third of a mile. Not bad.
Well, long enough, though.
Yeah, long enough.
Especially in the rain.
Yeah. Going out, we was in a heavy tree-covered area. It was just sprinkling. I said, we'll be fine under the trees. And, of course, where it was hidden, there was, less tree cover. And I guess the real point I'm trying to make is this. Just log your DNFs. It doesn't say anything against you as a cacher. It says you can't find this particular cache. The DNF log helps the whole community. Cache owners and seekers alike benefit from DNF logs.
They do, and that was point number 2 for me. Is that point number 1 is somebody else is going to have the same experience that Bad Cop did. Point number 2 is that unless people log DNFs as a cache owner, you have no idea.
Right.
Yeah. You would just think people aren't going looking for it. Oh well, I guess people aren't going looking for it. So you don't know to go and check on it or do some maintenance.
Now, IHAM's trying to ramp up the ranting.
Doesn't take much sometimes.
I just lost it here. Rant topic. Throw down cache containers in place of DNFs. Discuss.
Oh, how about we discuss that one on a future episode? Because that's can we save that one and bring that up on another episode when we don't have a guest? Because I would love to get into that one.
This one's already running a little long. IHAM, send me an email. We'll stick that one in a future show note or a future show.
Yeah.
So then the just say no from Bry Lang, which has 4 likes. I'm just going to delete for now. We'll come back to it.
Exactly. Yeah. No. Let's definitely talk about throwdowns on a future episode like this one where we don't have a guest, because that's going to be an animated conversation for sure.
And Dora Moore, and this is true. She says the flip side of going out to a DNF or going out to a cache that has 3 or 4 DNFs is you get to gloat when you go there and actually find it.
Sure, absolutely. But then you're making an educated decision. There's 3 or 4 DNFs, and you're taking that chance. But if you go out and there's only one,
or none,
yeah, and and if the previous person who logged the DNF was the bad cop or wit's end, you're gonna look at it and go, I'll find it.
No, I'll find it because they don't know how to cache.
No, come on, yeah.
I'm here to edify my colleagues.
Thank you. But that's okay, Land Monkey. I can throw it right back at you. According to your videos, you don't find any caches. Your wife does.
That's right. I'm too busy filming the scenery, talking to everybody. Hey, it's the Land Monkeys. I'm not doing any work.
Just sits up there above the 49th parallel and looks down on the rest of us.
Something like that. All right.
Okay. Enough of the rants for today.
Sounds good. All right, so we're going to wrap up the ranting, but it was a fun conversation. I really did enjoy that conversation, and I am looking forward to our throwdown rant in a future conversation, as well as our guests that we have lined up for some future episodes. But in the interim, Badcom, where can people find you if they would like to rant at you on the internet?
The easiest way, Twitter, Caching NW, Facebook, Caching NW, and Google Plus, Caching NW. Wits End?
I'm pretty similar to you, except replace Caching NW with Wits End.
Oh,
Wits
good
End.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, Wits End and Twitter and Facebook and geocaching and all those places, and google.com/plus Wits End at Wits End US. So, Land Monkey, you're everywhere we want to be, but where would they find you on the webs?
Well, if you're looking for us on the webs, you can always start at our website, landmonkey.blogspot.ca. However, which we do need to update that a little more often. More often, you will find us on Twitter, Instagram, or Periscope at LandMonkeyGC. On Facebook, we are Team LandMonkey, and of course, as always, on YouTube. And gentlemen, you keep your eye on the LandMonkey channel on YouTube. You guys feature prominently in the next couple of episodes.
Ooh, heavens to Murgatroyd.
I signed no release for that.
Yeah. You went caching with the Land Monkey. That's
yeah, it's
considered
fine.
a de facto release.
Pretty much, yeah. And, you know, he's across the border. What are you going to do?
Zoom. No, don't.
All right. Well, it's been a fun episode ranting and talking about caches, containers, DNFs, and other like. The only comment I want to throw in there that I think is funny is 3 M's in a row says, I like to DNF all of Land Monkey's caches without even looking for them. So,
Hey.
we'll just let that one be there because that was just fun. But there's some more fun stuff coming up, including apparently an entire show of ranting and DNF discussions and all kinds of fun stuff. And the rest of the research department has been busily working away. You know, there's other great shows that probably don't involve quite the same level of ranting. Next week, we're going to talk about Geocache Alaska. That's going to be an awesome episode, and I would probably say there's very little ranting in that one. That's going to be great. Following that show, we've got shows lined up to talk about reviewers and bike maintenance and all kinds of other exciting things. Some of them haven't quite firmed up yet, so we're not going to tell you what they are, but stay tuned. I can guarantee you you're going to love them.
But until then, we want to thank you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. Don't forget, you can be part of the show. Call 253-693-TFTC and leave us a comment, ask a question, squeeze something delicious out of a unicorn anytime, day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cachingnw.com. Also, your support helps keep quality shows coming. If you like this show, please click the PayPal button on the Caching NW website. The show's licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license, copyright 2015 by Chris. Thanks, folks.
Thanks, everybody.
Remember to bob your head in time to the music at the bus stop.
Oh, yeah.
And we are clear. And I should read those parts before I get to them.
Who put that in this
Something
week?
delicious out of a unicorn.
Wits End?
Huh? No. What? I don't know what
Oh,
you're talking
man.
about.
There is an ad out for the Squatty Potty that is absolutely hilarious.
Yes.
Is that where this is from?
That's where this is
Yeah.
from.
If you go Google the Squatty Potty and look for the commercial involving a unicorn, it's fun. I tweeted it, and then a friend of mine texted me and said that was hysterical. He said I went and asked a friend of mine that I wasn't sure if he'd appreciate it or not, and I said, "Are you?" He said, "I asked my friend, are you okay with bathroom humor? You know, does that bother you? What do you feel?" And my friend looked at me and said, "Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm kind of a number 2." So
Come on, that's funny.
that was funny. Yes, the Squatty Potty.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it's memorable.
So I was looking in the Q&A and Wits End. I guess it's evident to everybody that you didn't get the memo tonight about the uniform.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Yeah. He's a lumberjack and he's okay.
Yeah. But it's okay because none of us are wearing pants, right? Or is that just me?
Podcasters. It's my understanding. Once you're a podcaster, you don't wear pants.
On the air. You wear pants other times.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Oh, I didn't tell you that? How long have you been on this
Speaking of not
podcast?
getting memos.
A little clarification would have been nice.
Ah, come on. Come on.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Oh, dear.
Come on, Dora. Okay. Dora Moore, I don't know what happened. I'll get in contact with you. We'll get you a prize out to you. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, that's weird. Thought
Yeah.
we took
it
care
was,
of that.
yeah, I thought it was taken care of. So. And Wet Coaster, I've still got it sitting on my desk. I look at it and go, why haven't I put this in the mail today? I will tomorrow. Wits End, make me do it tomorrow.
I will harass the bad cop at his place of employment over the next few days until those packages get shipped. I will do it gleefully.
Yes, he will. That's wrong.
Poke.
Did he
You
ship it
just
yet?
have to ask unicorns nicely. They'll freely give you. They'll freely give. No squeezing needed.
Mhm.
This B Pendragon.
Sounds like experience.
Yeah. No, you need to squeeze a little.
That sounds like even more experience.
Just a little. And Bry Lane and Die Monkey both have a sack full of 35 millimeter film containers.
There you go.
If you're looking for any. Now, I didn't want to
Two
say
last sacks left on the planet.
I didn't want to say they're gone. We'll never see them again. Route 66, the ET Highway are both filled with film canisters.
Question,
So-
is Route 66 archived or is it still there?
Well, the highway's still there.
Well, okay. Yeah. Yes, I was asking if they had archived the highway. Is the power trail along the Route 66 highway in California archived or is it still there?
Well, just because you don't have pants on doesn't mean you have to get angry at me. Uh,
I'm very angry about my lack of pants.
my underwear's too tight, and it makes me angry.
The land monkey was angry that day, my friends.
The wrong trousers.
I have no idea.
Well, I ask because
Look it up. I
for
haven't
some
heard.
reason I was looking up.
It's the wrong pants, and they've gone wrong.
They've gone wrong. I was looking up completed caches in GSAC for a challenge cache. Yeah, sorry, there was a fly just flew
Okay.
past in front of my face, so I wanted to try and go.
So there's no music. You don't have to dance.
And so going through all the caches, I started to notice a trend. All of my caches that I had found, because we've done about half of Route 66, all the ones along there that I found, that stupid fly is driving me nuts now.
Focus.
They
Focus
showed-
right
they
here.
showed either disabled or archive, and I can't remember now, so I'm going to look it up.
Three Hams really wants you to wear pants to the Good Jip event.
Oh, I don't know. Now that's really tempting to find a reason not to wear pants to the Good Jif event.
How about not long pants? You could wear short pants
I could.
with black socks and black shoes. Black shoes and black socks. That's
Wait, Coach,
geocaching.
That's a summertime geocaching outfit. Not mine, my friends. Not mine.
Wait, 'cause you're angry like a pants. How do you think we feel?
I don't
I think
know.
we should all go
how
with
you feel.
kilts.
All right. Hey, what's the name of the ones along Route 66 to make this search quicker? Anybody know?
I want to say simple Route 66.
If I put in Route 66, up with
RT66.
that's not what I'm looking for.
Wet Coaster wants to know if any of the new cabinet ministers are geocachers.
Ooh.
Probably. They're all liberals.
Is that a good thing?
It's a whatever thing.
It's a different thing, right? Different
different
is sometimes good.
I don't get too worked up about politics. I got worked up about throwdowns.
Dormore says you could wear a kilt. Come as Braveheart.
If I had one, that would definitely.
Down with pants, up with kilts. Down with pants, up with... Wait.
Wait,
Wait a minute.
that does not sound right. So yes, IHAM will get in contact. It's worth its own show. The drop a container if you can't find a cache. I should just carry containers with me and do that.
There you go.
Because I'm on I need to fill these calendar days, and if I could, have a pre-signed container and throw down. Oh, sorry, I'm stealing from the next show.
Well, we can talk tomorrow. I think IHAM's going to be at the same GIF event that we're planning. So maybe not. I'll have to go look back and look at the logs. The
Brylang, black socks, they never get dirty. The longer you wear them, the stronger they get. Sometimes I think I should wash them, but something inside me says, no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
All right.
When they go into the washer by themselves, they're ready.
I am looking at Route 66.
I'll let you know it was my wife who bought me black socks. It's in here. She, I'm not being sexist, but she's the one who does the laundry because I do it so poorly.
That was your plan, wasn't it?
Yes, it worked. But then she started buying me all dark-colored clothes. Okay, well, apparently I like black. I didn't know that before, but apparently I do. So there. I just said that on the internet, didn't I?
You did, out loud in front of everybody. So I am looking at Route 66, and they must have been disabled, and there was probably some weather-related stuff going on because I see all the caches out there, including all my little smiley faces. So Route 66 is still in place, folks.
Okay.
Will you see the smiley face even though the cache has been disabled?
You would see the smiley face even though the cache has been disabled, I agree. But when you zoom in, you would see a gray smiley face.
Like a zombie.
Oh, and some of them are gray. Actually, yeah, so from about 540 onwards to heading east to, what are we up here? I don't know, 600, 700. So basically from, and then keep going, 700. So 500, from 540 east, they're currently disabled all the way till you get to Highway 40 Needles Freeway. So yes, they're disabled. So that must have been, I don't know, weather related or something, because I know they've had some flooding.
I'm disabled.
I'm disabled.
Oh, that's not what you meant, is it?
No, but it's funny.
Okay, folks, with that, I'm going to disable the podcast. See you next week.
Good night.
Cheers.